joined today by Chris Daws, Managing Director of Estrella Resources. Chris, thanks for your time.
David, pleasure to be here. Pleasure talking to Chapter 1 again.
Firstly, Estrella, what projects does it hold, where are they located and why are they so good?
Look, Estrella Resources is a genuine nickel explorer focused in West Australia. Our major asset is the Carboid nickel mine located 80 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie-Boulder. It's where we made a significant discovery in October 2020 with drilling of our CBD hole 30, and that was a game changer for Estrella. We do also hold other assets and nickel assets. In fact, we own 4 historic nickel mines 25 kilometres west of Kambalda, which is also just south of Kalgoorlie-Boulder, and that's another asset that we will look to apply some of our funds to some exploration there over the course of the journey of 2021-2022. But as I said, carboid rocks is our key focus going forward.
What drew you to carboid rocks?
That's an interesting question, David. Look, going back some years, I saw a photograph, and that photograph has resonated with me over a long period of time. And that photograph was of the underground mine workings when Western Mining were working the Carboid nickel mine. And that showed that there was quite significant remobilised primary massive sulphide at Carboid rocks. And that excited me because that meant that those sulphides, which were being mined, were just a small portion of what could potentially exist at depth in what we now determine or see in the in nickel exploration worldwide in these magmatic nickel sulphide complexes. Or mafic intrusive complexes is a source or chamber where these massive sulphides settle, and that to me, that photograph was the catalyst of me wanting to get involved with carboid and go exploring and looking for a major new nickel sulphide ore body.
Despite its proximity to a well-known mining town or city, it hadn't seen a lot of exploration, this project.
Look, over the course of the journey, it's gone through various hands. When Western Mining owned the asset, it actually acquired it through a takeover of North Kalgoorlie gold mines, and they mined it for a number of years in the 70s during the nickel boom. The nickel price fell away, and obviously the exploration and the work that was done at Carboid waned a little. Western Mining focused their attention at Kambalda, and they sold the asset to Defiance Mining in the 80s. Defiance were looking at other avenues of exploration at Carboid. They were looking for a Marinsky Reef platinoid deposit type style of model of exploration, and so Defiance and then other holders didn't really explore what we are looking for in this source chamber, and that really came about in the late 90s of the knowledge of these magmatic chambers or magmatic sulphide deposits in these mafic intrusive complexes through the work that was done at Voisey's Bay and other places around the globe that showed that these mafic intrusive complexes, and when they're mineralised, do hold potential for source or chamber mineralisation, and that's really what we're chasing and what we're trying to deliver up on. And it's only through modern technologies, new geophysical methods, the new model, and obviously the ability to drill deeper, and all of the technologies that have come over the course of the last decade, and more modern technologies, modelling of the drilling in 3D in Micromine or Serpac or all these other software packages, that's allowing us to see much more from the drill hole and the drilling, that's allowed us to then go and utilise that information to go chasing this model and chasing these nickel sulphides, which in the past they didn't do, simply because they didn't have that information on that model.
The results, or the spectacular results of the discovery hole in October 2020 certainly set the market alight. What have you learnt since then that give you comfort that you're onto something?
Yeah, thanks, David. I guess the market was set alight. It was what we're calling the $100 million hole, hole 30, that set our market capitalisation soaring. It allowed us to generate the ability to raise capital and bring capital into the company to further the drilling programs. And it's with every drill hole that we're now putting into the ground that we're getting more knowledge of the immediate geological environment that's allowing us to unravel where this potential source or chamber sits, So with every drill hole, putting that into the software packages and seeing that and turning that around in 3D and applying modern geophysical tools, what we've been able to see, and it's even from the holes that haven't hit mineralisation, that we're starting to see the immediate geological environment. For instance, we're now we have knowledge of these blank faults where we have these flat-lying fault structures that our drill holes have passed through where we haven't hit mineralisation. Now, we were scratching our heads a little bit until that was confirmed through further drill work, and we'll continue to drill more holes. And as we do that, that will firm up that geological knowledge, and that will allow us to then pinpoint or take us to the source of where these magmatic high-grade nickel sulfides have originated from.
You've significantly expanded infrastructure at site. What have you done and why?
Look, we have a belief. We have a firm belief in carboid rocks to deliver a major world-class ore body. And that belief has driven us to put in infrastructure in place so that our staff and personnel can operate in an environment which sometimes can be quite hard. We go through periods of very hot temperatures and then very cold temperatures. We're in a semi-arid environment, so we've got to have infrastructure in place that our workers and our staff can actually do the work in a safe environment. They can get good sleep, they can operate machinery on a 12-hour shift. They've got to be able to be working and living in an environment which is conducive of a safe operating environment. And we have a genuine belief through that work that we're going to be here for a very, very long time in making a significant world-class discovery. Hence why we've put in the infrastructure that we have, a modern exploration camp with all of the mod columns. We have running water. We have an airstrip that we can now fly in, fly out, staff and technical crews. We have it at our fingertips, and it's certainly a much better environment for our workforce to be working there. Originally when we started, we were on a 6-week program, 6-week drill program, living from tents. We haven't stopped drilling from that 6 weeks, and that was 6 months ago. So it was very important to put in this infrastructure.
In terms of your cash position, well funded to do this work?
Look, we are, and that's come about through the discovery. We've had access to capital. Our options that we have out, that were already issued in the marketplace, have gone deep into the money, and they've been exercised by our shareholders. And that there is some still $11 million of unexercised options that will come in over the course of the next 3 to 4 months. They expire on June 27 this year. So there's $11 million of additional funding we believe will come into the company, and we're counting on that as we go forward. The drill rigs are turning today, and we'll need those funds to continue those drill rigs turning so we can make discoveries for our shareholders.
I remember speaking to you at the time of the discovery hole, and you were pretty excited. How excited are you now with the more knowledge that you've been able to generate?
David, the excitement hasn't waned. The excitement for me in every single drill hole, it comes and it rises as we get closer to the target zone, or the estimated target zone for each and every drill hole. What we're taking out of the ground in each and every drill hole has never ever been seen by a human eye before. And so seeing that for the very first time, is it going to be massive nickel sulfides? Have we found the source? Are we getting closer to the chamber? Every single hole is very exciting for us and for our shareholders, and hopefully over the journey, over the next few weeks and months ahead, that excitement will build into a world-class discovery.
Certainly a big 2020, but 2021 doesn't look like slowing down for Estrella Resources. Chris, thanks for your time.
Thank you, David. Pleasure to be here.